Welcome, and welcome to I forgot I changed that background. Let's change it back. All right, cool. To another edition of KitSZN. We have a fun lineup in store for y'all here tonight. But before we get into that, Fox, how are you doing?
Good.
Good.
It's good. We're potty training still, so just
okay.
cleaning up pee and getting peed on.
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun. Have fun with that. Hopefully, this is a nice little
a little break.
A little break. Yes.
Talk kit.
Talk kits. Yeah. I mean, hey, it's better than peed on. So I guess you and I will take that. So.
How are you today, Brett?
Man, I'm going to tell you, I'm busy. I'm a busy man right now, and I am tired, and I am excited for this weekend. Fun little fact here. My brother, I think I told y'all, is a strength coach for the Michigan Panthers. I will be heading out to St. Louis this weekend because their team is in the USL Championship to go root him on. I'm bringing this man with me as well to the game on Saturday, so we are quite excited. So
let's go football America.
Yeah, we're on football though.
Yeah, that's American football.
Oh, football. Yeah, you said that right. Cool. So looking forward to the weekend. I didn't see this man again and get him to a game and kind of hang out a little bit. And with that, with the proper football here tonight, I'm going to start getting into the main part of today's show once I thank our lovely, lovely patrons down below. So, shout out to John Hunt, Frank Anthony, Christopher Cohn, Harry Austin, John Fuller, Michael Fuchs, Joshua Duder, Noah Telford, Alberto Aguilar, Jeremy Churchman, Stephen Howard, Ryan Lacara, Tim Knotts, Anna Fresh 30, MOS Kunal Patel, Olive the Hedgehog, Andrew Towsley, Matt Catpeel, and Ryan Smetzler. And as always, Goals.tv for some exclusive content. So, I cannot wait to get started on today's episode because honestly, it covers a whole bunch of teams. A lot of green tonight, but it's a nice little swath of land cover there in the eastern part of the U.S., but also different teams and all doing something a little different on tonight's episode.
But a little the same, too.
A little the same, yes.
A little the same, a little different, just different styles. It's going to be fun.
Yes, it should be.
We should have did this episode in March.
But hey, we just wanted to have an icebreaker here, and I want to start off with our first kit of the night. Yeah, I know, I'm going with it. First kit of the night is the Ice Boom Kit from FC Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yo, VIP. Let's kick it.
All right, that's it. So
that's the whole video.
That's the whole video, 16 seconds. But honestly, though, this kit is a lot of fun. I do like this kit, and the vibes actually look a little bit better. Here, let me pop up into here if y'all can see it. The kits do look a lot better in person than on that graphic. This kit does look really sharp. It's that simple white kit with a nice striking blue added in, and I do like it.
Do we give it fat big booms? No. But
we do not.
No, I do not give it fat big booms.
I did not give it even a single boom. So, but I want to get back into here and share this kit. I do like it. As y'all know, I am a constant sucker for a solid white kit. This is one of those good looking white kits. It adds a little bit of, it adds a bit with the ice in it. and that's really about it. But it looks really good. I would wear it all the time. But that's just me. I feel like you have a different opinion there.
No, honestly, like if this was my team, I would be so excited about it. You know what I mean? Like if I was a fan, this is a really cool kit.
Yeah.
Get it? Cool. Because
Hey.
but I could chill in it. But otherwise, because it just gives me the cold shoulder outside of being a fan of the team. I do like the colorways. I like their blue, and I like how they made it look icy on the kit. And it does give out, the Buffalo vibes a bit because they are very cold.
Very cold.
So, I mean, it's not a bad kit. It's just not something that, like, I feel like, collectors are going to be like, oh, I missed that kit. We'll see it like 10 years later, like, oh, I should have picked that up. Like, oh, yeah, it's an interesting shirt, isn't it?
Hey,
so that's my general vibes.
I'm already missing out already because I missed the pre-sale. So I'm a little upset about that. But I'm going to hop right into my score here. As I said, I love the overall aesthetic of this kit. I gave it a 4 there. It looks really good. As I said, I'd rock this all day. It looks crisp. That colorway looks good on that white. Again, it's that idea that Austin brings up anytime he's on the show here, is that contrasting a dark and a light color. This does that really well while also still applying some nice details with that the breaking of the ice. It's a little bit better than the icebreaker in this case. It's a better example of an ice kit compared to Forward Madison's, even though Forward Madison's was more colorful. I think that's what edged it out in score, in my opinion. But when it comes to authenticity and tradition, I also gave this a 4. I think this is Buffalo to a T. It's ice. It's cold. It is what it is. Snow and ice. It's how it is up there near Lake Ontario. So it's been dumped on. So, and then I did like how they actually did the ice. It looks really good. And that little spray effect, that little mix effect that they had there. So I gave it a 3 for visual details and execution. So there's nothing wrong visually with it. I just wanted maybe a little bit more. Can't complain too much. But because it's just a white kit with some ice cracking on it, its innovation is a little low, so I gave it a 2. So it's overall 3.25, right in the middle of the road, as this is their away kit. So right in the middle of the road for a team that will be wearing this on the road.
Yeah, and I'm essentially in the same boat. It's not a bad jersey at all. Overall design and aesthetics, again, I gave it a 4. It's cool looking, and they did a good job with it. Like everything fits well, everything looks good. It's a 4. Authenticity and tradition, I did give it a 3. It is cold, but also this could go with any cold area. And Madison did a ice kit. Other people have done similar ice kits. So I feel like, again, I do agree with what you're saying, that this was better executed than others. Visual details, I gave a 4. It was well executed. But then innovation, again, I don't think we're going to be, remembering back when we had the cool FC Buffalo. Unless they come out with something super boring next year. I'm like, oh, man, remember the ice kit last year, the boom? I like the cracks. I like the ice. I like that it's kind of more artistic and not just like a stock photo of ice, cracking or whatever. Right. So overall, it's a 3.5 from me. So not a bad pickup. So if you're in the Buffalo area, I would definitely say you should pick this up.
I would actually concur with that, but it's no longer available because anytime you click on the link, I think the pre-sale is over at this point. So
I would say try to find it somewhere.
Otherwise, I suggest you reach out to your to FC Buffalo if you're from the area. This has it doesn't have a kit value at this point because I was too slow to get the link to look at the price. So, so this was the FC Buffalo Ice Boom kit. I like it. The crackling first kit to start off with. And It's a nice little icebreaker to begin the night. So
You already made the icebreaker joke. New one.
that's fine.
Do a new one.
The ice didn't melt this time, so it's too cold up there. So to moving forward, up next, I want to stay up into the northern part of the U.S. This time where it's a little less cold, and this would be up to Vermont Green, and check out their new, as what I am dubbing, their yerba. Yeah, I said that right. Yerba Madre kit. Here, check this out. And overall, though, this kit is what you'd kind of expect from Vermont Green. It is, and it again by Matt Wolf design. This is something that's sleek, simple, but the more you look at it, and I thought that this was kind of a simple rinse and kind of repeat of what they did, I think, 2 years ago with their green kit.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's very similar to what they've done in the past.
Mm-hmm. Except when you look at the details of the leaves on here, you really see that these aren't just there in some sort of like animated kind of not super defined. This looks like a real leaf or like real leaves out there, and you can really see the detail put into it. And that is something I took away from this kit, and it adds to it given that texture of that pattern. Very similar to the ice that we just saw from Buffalo. This was the detail in the leaves that really separates this kit for me.
Yeah, they definitely went into the work of making sure that the leaves look realistic. And but like you said, they did do a similar green kind of. I guess it was more like tie-dye, the first green one they came out with.
Correct.
And let's be honest, kind of 420 looking, tie-dye-ish looking. So this is more detailed, more of the actual, like, trees that Vermont represents. They use to represent Vermont. There we go.
Yeah. So according to Matt Wolf, who had said in the press release here, says that this shirt is a deep green with white trim and collar, which I love a collar kit. You know that. So this is on my list.
Yep. Low bump.
Yes. The subtle print features vines and leaves representing our club's growth and honoring our state's public institutions, schools, and town assemblies, and our cherished democracy. If you don't know anything about Vermont Green, they're a bunch of cool people. So this is right on brand with them. And it's player layer, so it's 100% recycled. And as environmentally friendly as possible, they've made a kit. And it's cheap. $79 for a good looking kit. I have one from 2 years ago. So highly recommend this team. But let's hop into our scores. This is your kit, Fox. I'll let you go first.
Yeah, this is an easy kit to rank because it's super sick. So design aesthetics 5. I feel like this, like Matt pointed out, this really points out the details of these vines and the leaves and everything. Authenticity and tradition. Like when you see this, it's clearly a Vermont Green kit.
Yeah.
They've done something similar. They've done polos. They've done all of this before, but they're not just rinsing and repeating. Like they're still innovating while, staying true to who they are.
Right.
And like you said, this is player layer. It kind of reminds me of what Forest Green Rovers do. Is that they're very focused because they're also a player layer. No, they changed actually, but they
used to be though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they're Umbro now, but they still make sure that their kits are recycled. But player layer does an amazing job at making sure that like all their products are like 100% recycled. So I really enjoyed that. And like Brett said, they're very cool people. So like they're trying to make sure that they're being environmentally conscious of what's going on. Visual details 5. execution 5. Yeah, like everything looks great on this. The only thing I gave it slight issue with, I gave it a 4 on innovation and impact, because same thing I've said, we've kind of seen it from them before. So are they being too innovative? No, but they are improving on what they've done in the past. So like, it's not bad. So that got the 1-4 that brought this to a 4.75 for me.
Yeah, and I was actually a little harsher on everything else here, but I'll get into it. When it comes to design aesthetics, this is everything I'm looking for. This looks damn good. I'm going to wear this all the time. I'm going to just look really... This is something that I would... Again, we had a conversation, I think, last week when it comes to collars and no collar. I'm not a player, so I have no concern for that. So I see this collar, I'm going to rock this. And as Taylor famously says, you could rock this with a pair of jeans. That's kind of what some of the models here are doing. And you kind of see that. Let's go with a pair of jeans. This is the type of aesthetic that I look for. It looks sleek. Yes, it's not my super busy, fun ones that I like all the time, but this one has a different flair to it that I really like. So it's a 5 there. When it comes to authenticity and tradition, this just feels Vermont Green to me. So I give it a 5 there. I like that. Especially with the leaves. It's very on brand for the Vermont Green to do green leaves, especially in this case. I love that. And then finally, with the details execution, this is well done in terms of the detailing done with those leaves. They could have just done a simple leaf pattern and kind of gone on with their day, given that they produce a lot of maple up there in Vermont. But no, there was some detail given to everything in there. So I appreciated that the more I looked at this kit. And that's how I'm going to highlight it since we started this segment. So, but akin to Fox, I did have it be less when it comes to innovation and impact. I only gave it a 3 because at the end of the day, this is just simply a green kit with a nice pattern on it, even though it's detailed, and it's not something that's truly innovative. It might have had an impact, but it's not something that's innovative and changing the game. This will sell like hotcakes, though. So, mission accomplished. Yeah. So I give it a 4.5 for me with Fox's 4.75. This is a 4.63 solid kit once again from the Vermont Green. And for those who actually do want to get this kit and look sharp, it has the kit value of a 58.54, given that this is selling for $79 retail. So
yeah, I don't know how Player Layer has the ability to do all the tech that they do in it and still make their kits so affordable for the fan.
Right.
Or Vermont just gets zero profit from selling the kits.
It won't surprise me if that was the case.
Exactly. That sounds exactly on brand with Player Layer.
But yeah, so this is the 2025 Vermont Green Yerba Madre kit. It's the main sponsor up front. Well done, as always. Big fans. It's already on my birthday list, so just hit me up if you want to save me some money. So, so moving forward, we have, well, another green team. This one that is a little bit further south, I would say. It's a little bit. Quite a bit. Quite a bit south, actually. Compared to Vermont, though.
Yeah.
Compared to Vermont, everything's south. So
I don't know why I was in Tennessee in my head.
I mean, not too far.
I know. I think I was thinking about like Knoxville or something. I don't know where I was. I was not in Vermont. Like, it's clearly Vermont Green.
Right. But speaking of Knoxville, this is a League One team, and we're going to South Carolina and going to our good friends at Greenville Triumph. Shout out Gio as always. With their 2025 Unity kit. Now, at first glance, this kit looks like something I would wear in a heartbeat, and you're not wrong about that. However, the more I looked into this kit, the more it started to fade on me a little bit.
A little confusing too.
Correct. That's the main point that I got from this kit. I liked the little bits of this kit individually. I just don't know if they did it cohesively.
Yeah.
So, what are your initial thoughts on this one?
Exact same boat. There's really, I almost feel like there was like two different kits that were getting made at the same time. And somebody said, "Ooh, I like this part and I like this part. Let's put it together." And then we got this. And again, it's not a bad kit. And Greenville fans should definitely pick it up.
Right.
But yeah, it just feels like two different kits. And honestly, when I get into my scores, I'll talk more about something that really confuses me. But this was this your kit or my kit?
Mine. So
right,
I'm going to start first here. So with this one, I did just slightly adjust my score, but it was before we got announced. So whatever. No, I'm done. Sorry. I know you.
That is harm done. I just didn't the things.
Anyways, I did a slight deduction, and I'll get to what I changed here in a second. But when it comes to its overall design and aesthetics, I would rock this all day. I love the 5 different colored stripe. I think that is really kind of cool and different. And, with a little Unity at the bottom, this kind of gives me a Pride kit without saying Pride kit. And I'm kind of okay with that. And I like that. And also, besides that, I do like the colorful aesthetic overall that they're trying to go for. Did it work? That's a different question. But I like what they were going for here. But when it comes to its authenticity and tradition, any team could be doing this. This doesn't tie the kit to Greenville. This isn't a away kit, and it is what it is for that aspect. So I give it a 2 there for authenticity and tradition. Here's what I lowered, Fox, is my visual details and execution. I had it at a 3, but as we keep talking, I actually lowered it to a 2 because I don't think they executed overall as well as I thought they when I had originally thought they had. So it's now a 2 there from me. As we mentioned, it seems like a few ideas were on this kit, and I don't think one quite won out. One of the things that I want to point out is they could have just had these 5 stripes and left the sleeves alone.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would have been great. But then they added in this pattern that fades on the edge of the sleeve and then fades when you get into the kit. A little confused by that, honestly. And then also, and I do know the blue matches everything else, but like it just seems a little mismatched and not as cohesive as I would have wanted it. Now I do.
Would you say it's not as united?
That's a good one.
I could do it too.
You can do it too, yes. So, but as this says, designed in collaboration with Hummel, North America, the Unity kit highlights the theme of Unity that follows the history of Unity parts creation. The white jersey is accented with 5 stripes running vertically behind the Triumph crest, matching the colors and order of the 9-foot Unity letters situated at the front of the part. That is really cool. The Unity also design appears at the lower left of the front of the kit. Again, that is really, really cool. And the great idea with this, it's just this part that really bothers me is down at this part here on the kit. Down below, it says, the signature pattern inside the letters appears on the jersey sleeves, fading in towards the cuff in Triumph SC's primary green. And that's where the kit lost me. The message stood, but the kit itself lost me. And it's this little part right there. But everything else this shit stands for, I love it. It looks good. Love the messaging. But in that same vein, the innovation and impact is only a 2. So this kit could have been better. I just feel like it missed a little bit. That's why my score is a 2.5.
Yeah, we're in the same boat generally with this one. Design and aesthetics, I actually gave a 4. I think it was the execution. I gave it a 4 too. I don't know what I did wrong. Authenticity and tradition, I gave it 2. Because again, unless you read it or unless you've been to Greenville, you don't know that that's a sign on the Unity Park. But I mean, that does help you learn more about it. But like, I feel like the kit, I don't know, they just swung and missed. I feel like, innovation impact. I don't think it's going to have the impact that it should. I think this should have a lot of impact. I think this should be one of my favorite kits, but it just doesn't hit right. And the sleeves bother me a lot. Again, like what I'm seeing is that the sleeves, that pattern in there, could have been like either the whole kit or more of the sleeve and fade away, and then lose the stripes. Or if you do the stripes, put those in the sleeves, do the 5 stripes on the sleeves.
Right.
Then, that might be busy too, though. But, and then keep that cool design inside the Unity letters instead of changing it, making it the Greenville Green. And yeah, there's the sign with the cool design in it. Like it has a really cool, those circles throughout it. You just, they were telling a message, but they were whispering it.
Yeah. I would have personally liked to see if they would have done some thicker stripes with this pattern in all 5 of the colors. Like have that instead of being a little knot on the sleeves, I would have liked to see maybe a little bit thicker lines. It doesn't have to be massively thicker, just a little bit thicker for all 5 of the stripes going down the middle. And I think that would have not down the middle, but where they had it.
Yeah.
It would have done a lot better execution overall compared to what they did here.
Agreed. Yeah. So I mean, overall for me, got a 3. So overall, a 2.75. I mean, it's an away white kit. Again, I feel like the message is so much stronger than what the kit presented.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my final take, because I feel like it does mean a lot. I almost feel bad giving it a 3. But I don't feel like it was telling the story that it should have, that it wanted to.
No. So, yeah. So with that in store, with our score, and given that this is at resale of $89.99, this gets a kit value of a 31.95. Not our highest. Sorry, that actually dropped. Apologies.
Oh yeah.
It's actually a
30.56.
Yeah, 0.56 of a kit value. We've seen better. This is still a decent looking kit. But I just feel we feel they just missed the mark overall. So a little ashamed there. But with that, we're going to move on to our next kit here. And we're going to go into our first of 2 the USL League kits. This time, we're going to start off with the women that really started a whole bunch of the, I'm going to call it the women's suffrage a little bit, with the Riveters of Pittsburgh, and given that they shaped and changed.
They started the women's suffrage?
I said that wrong. That was completely not what I meant to say, but they're the ones who help kickstart and show that women can do a lot of things just as well as the men. And I think starting them off here for tonight for the 2 USLW teams is appropriate. So I'm going to go up to the Pittsburgh Riveters with their, what I've dubbed the Blueprints kit. Now, before we get into this rating here, I know this is going to be a fun little episode. Fun little segment here.
Yeah,
so I'm not even going to start this. I want Fox, you to start it, so then I can then do my little part, so then we can go from there.
So you want me to say my scores?
You can give your thought
Good.
and then give your scores right away. Yeah.
Okay. I don't cuss. Freaking love this kit. It's so cool. It's so cool. It has like the blueprints, the schematics of airplanes, and their badge is really cool. It's really unique to Pittsburgh, and it's still the black and gold that Pittsburgh does.
Yep.
This thing is cool. It yells Pittsburgh. It yells Riveters. It yells Plains. It's yelling a lot. It's telling its story, and it's a 5. There's nothing I could say about it. Maybe the sleeves. If you want to argue something, you could say sleeves. But I don't even know what to do for the sleeves that would change it. Maybe put a black cuff there. Sleeves.
I think there is a black cuff, actually.
There is a black cuff. I can't see. The right cuff looks black, but the left cuff on the picture doesn't look black. I don't know. That's the only thing I can say. Like everything, it's so well made. It's so interesting to me. Like it's a cool design. It's an interesting design. It's a conversation starter. It's a 5. So Brett, tell America why you hate women.
Conversation starter indeed, and no, I do not hate women. So
No, I'm sorry. I'll take that.
This kit is
wrong. Shame on you.
I expected more. Is basically what I'm going to say. I'm going to go with that. I think this wasn't what I wanted overall to see. Now I just threw it overall through my score there. And so first off, for design and aesthetics, I gave it a 3. I think this is overall aesthetic wise for me, middle of the road. This is something that I definitely wouldn't mind having in the collection, and I'd wear this. But I don't see me clamoring over this. Yes, even though I am a Borussia Dortmund fan, I always love me some black and yellow. I'm going to say it with me this way. I don't think Charlie did well with either Pittsburgh team this year. And I think this kit encapsulates that idea for me. Because I should like this kit. But there's just something that just feels off to me this year with Charlie in Pittsburgh.
Is it the sleeves?
It's not the sleeve. I don't know, man. I had that feeling that something just feels off. I honestly, I don't know. Maybe I need to reach out to Austin and see what he said to validate or confirm that I'm wrong in my feelings here, because it just feels a little off to me. And I'll get into my other parts here. But in terms of authenticity and tradition, this is 100% the Riveters. They're leaning into that motif. And it's that traditional black and yellow. This is Pittsburgh through and through. So it's a 5 there. Easy. When it comes to the visual details and execution, it has the blueprints, which is really cool and something that has a lot of detail in it. This is just always a me thing here, is that's it. That's all there is to it. And I wanted to see a little bit more with the detailing here. So that gave it a 4 there for me. When it came to its overall innovation and impact, let me give it a 3.
I'm going to remember this.
That's fine. I hope it's billboard material for the Riveters front office.
My issue, do you know what my issue is going to be? Next year, when we see like 12 different blueprint kits.
Yeah.
This is the next map kit.
The problem is there's only so many blueprints in so many cities that can actually have a blueprint. Probably Detroit, maybe with a car.
Maybe like the blueprints of like a building or something, but like the stadium, like this is our home.
Maybe
it's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of blueprint, like schematic kits.
There might well be, and honestly, I don't like that. because I think that aesthetic doesn't look good. And I think that's partly why my designer said it's a 3. It didn't sit right with me. I hope this doesn't become trendy. So this gets me to a 3.75, a far cry from Fox's 5.0. My wife would concur with me, by the way, on this tit. She gave it a 4 instead of a 3.75. So she's right in the same vibe as I am. And she is the more logical of us two. So that brings this.
I'm going to text my wife.
Get a fourth opinion on this one, and then we'll get Austin to see if we're actually insane or not. So this gets an overall of a 4.38 of the Blueprints kit, as what I have dubbed, and being at retail at $95. Being as high as it is, this is still a 46.05 kit value. This is pretty good. Good value for a buck. And as we always say, it's a Charlie kit. You know you're getting good quality through and through. So this will feel good. You will definitely get attention to this. And I want to preface this before we move on, Fox. I still like this kit. I just can't get myself to like it more. That's all I'm going to say about it.
All I'm hearing is you just don't like schematics in general.
Yes.
Because they make books with nothing but just different invention. They make up schematics.
That's fine.
For different things. Because
someone who did engineering in school for 2 years, I've seen a lot of schematics. Maybe it's just something that is just whatever.
Trauma.
Trauma, probably. Yeah, I keep seeing circuit schematics all over the place, and I get PTSD from it. I don't know. Who knows? So, but
so
yes.
All I'm hearing is Brett's score is trauma-induced, and that explains why his score is so incorrect.
I'll let you go with that. If that makes me less villainized, I will go with it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Anyways, so yes, that is the Pittsburgh Riveters Blueprints kit. Solid kit for their inaugural season here in the USLW. Happy to have some women's soccer up in Pittsburgh. So,
yeah, well deserved up there.
Yes. And speaking of women's game, we are going to another team here who has a USLW team. And I believe not too long ago sold I think it was 8,000 tickets on a Tuesday night for a home game, which was stellar.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong on the attendance. But we're going to go to the Richmond Ivy, who always, every year, plays with their colors and really leans into the motif of being the Ivy. This year is another example of it. But my main problem here with this kit, this is maybe a me preference, they stopped using the orange accent.
It did.
From 2 years ago when they initially started. And I think that hurts me a little bit, but that's more of a preference. But that's my initial little thought there. What are your thoughts?
This is a nice kit. If this was their initial season kit, I might like it better. But since they've done not the same kit, but similar kits, they've done Ivy-based jerseys prior. This one fell short comparatively. It's still a good kit. Richmond fans should still pick it up, but It's hard for me to want this when I've seen that.
Fair enough. Yeah, and for me, really, the main difference for me here is what really got into today's episode, which again was inconsequent. We didn't fully plan out to have 2 Leaf kits here tonight. Actually, no, you did. They were both yours.
Yeah, I chose them both.
So I wasn't aware of that, but the more I looked at this Ivy kit, the more I kept comparing it to the Vermont Green kit. And for the main reason is the leaves. Now, if this is something that was like, for example, Ballard, as we've seen, would do like an artist
Right. Yeah, it's
type
just an
of,
artist collaboration.
yeah, and then it gives out that little bit of a graffiti, a little bit of a fun cartoonish vibe to it, whatever. This isn't, and even if that's the aesthetic that they wanted to go with, that's fine, go with it. But I can't help but compare it to that Vermont Green home kit that we looked at earlier here tonight, and seeing why I like the other one better than this one. And I think that hurt this kit.
Agreed. Like I mean, should I get into my scores?
Go.
Because I feel like my first thing is design and aesthetics, and aesthetically, these leaves are not pleasing. I'm trying not to say it, but it's kind of giving off like Canva vibes. Like this could be one of the graphics stock image of like cartoon Ivy going through, and because I like what they did, I like this green a lot, and I like the darks greens on it.
Yeah.
My wife said I really like it.
Tell her to give it on score of 1 to 5, because that's what I tell my wife. So did her on 1 to 5, so that's a true test. I didn't really like it and give it a 4.
But like, anyways, distracted. But so like honestly, and it's kind of giving me like Poison Ivy from Batman vibes. And maybe that was the vibe that they were going for, because now that I say that, this is kind of giving me the 90s cartoon vibes with the the vines going through it. But overall, I mean, so I got a 4 from aesthetics. And typically aesthetics is one of those easier ones for me to give 5s to.
Yeah.
And it just didn't hit. But authenticity and tradition, this is a 5. Like I see this, I'm like, that's a Richmond Ivy kit, isn't it?
Exactly.
I mean, like it has Ivy all over it. It's clearly a Richmond Ivy kit.
Right.
But it's still really cool. I really like it. But then execution 4 again just did not hit. Didn't hit perfectly. Like again, it looks good. It's not bad looking. So I don't want anybody to think that like, oh, Fox hates this kit and it's so ugly. And I think like it's not an ugly kit. I really do like this kit a lot. They just did so good in the past that now that they came out with the cartoon version of it, it doesn't feel as good.
It's kind of like Ford Madison.
It's like if they
out, right? How they came out swinging.
Yeah.
The bar is really, really high.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like Stitch, but the opposite. They had a realistic one, and now they're coming out with the cartoon version.
Okay.
And Stitch had a cartoon version, and now they came out with the.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that movie, but
I haven't seen the new Stitch. I've heard bad things. But anyways, innovation and impact. I gave it 4. Honestly, I could have given it a 3. I don't know if we're going to remember this one.
That's fair.
Maybe I should have gave that a 3. Too late. I'm not going to change my score like some people do. Because
you're going to do more than me, man.
Whoa.
I finally broke that twice in the last month.
I know you've done it twice now. I've tried really hard not to do it this season. I think I might have done it twice this season already.
Oh, you've done it a few times. Before you started making those new graphics, I know you've done it.
I like my graphics.
I know you do. But with Fox's 4.25, I'm going to get into my score here. When it comes to design and aesthetics, I guess it's a solid 4. I think the colors look really good. I like the different colors they used. I see 4 different colors of green used if you count the outline, the badge, having that little leaf that's technically the main kit to just an outline of the leaf with the 3 different leaves on the side. I think that's really cool. Play with the colors a little bit. I like that. And so, yeah. Anyways, so that is, yeah, so that is the away kit. I mean, sorry. So yeah, that's my aesthetic a little bit. You did?
Yeah. Well, just with the vacuum in here.
Oh, cool. So, yeah, but when it comes to authenticity tradition, this is 100% the Ivy. I see Ivy, I think of the Richmond Ivy. And when I see a bunch of leaves, I think of the Richmond Ivy. Well, sucks a little bit that, Vermont did maybe a little bit better on this one. But this is still 100% the Ivy. Given what they've done the last 3 years, they've changed the game in terms of they made it theirs. And I appreciate that. When it comes to its visual details and execution, I overall gave this a 4 to me. I do like what they did with the leaves, just not as much as I loved what Vermont did with the leaves. I do like the little bit of detail that they put in the leaves, but it's not as detailed as I wanted it to be. But I do like that. And I did also like that little white on that collar. It's a nice little subtle little thing, but it helps with the flow of greens in it. And I did like that little touch there. And they kind of use a secondary crest there as well.
It is a cool crest that they chose to do. Usually we don't talk about the crest too much.
But this is an away kit, so yeah. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Actually, your Detroit jersey you're rocking right now got the alt crest on it.
Yeah, the goalkeeper kit, which we'll get to later today. So yeah, but then this is kind of where I break things a little bit. When it comes to its overall innovation and impact, I think this did have an impact this season when it comes to getting attention of this kit. However, we have seen this a few times, and it's not as innovative as I wanted it to be, but it's still something that's quite unique. So I did get, not quite unique, but still a little bit more unique from everyday kit. So I gave this a 3.5, somewhere between a 3 and a 4, being impactful and innovative, with also a little bit of doing something they've kind of done in the past. It's a little different for their away kit. So that brings my score to technically a 4.125, or right up to a 4.13, with Fox's 4.25. It's just a solid 4.19, which is really good. I want to emphasize that. That is good.
I know. It's like said, I feel like the more we talk about this, like the more it's like we're like harping on it. But like, I mean, again, it got a great score. It got a 4.19. So it's just one of those things. It's just like, it's hard for us not to talk about this and talk about the past kids.
Yeah. And speaking of being good, given that this is $90 there from the Ivy and the score of a 4.19, this comes out to a kit value of a 46.53. This is good. This is definitely a pickup. If you're a collector, especially if you like trees, lots of trees and a lot of leaves, this is definitely one that I think would be high on your list. So this is really well done from the Richmond Ivy. So any final thoughts as we leave this kit here, Fox?
Richmond, really good job. Keep doing what you're doing. And, we enjoy it. Don't take this as like anything bad. It's not bad. We like it.
Hey, all I'm going to say is bring back some orange. Hints of orange, please. I love that.
I'll be okay with that.
That's all I'm going to say. So, yeah, hints of orange for me, and I would be very, very happy with y'all. But still a good pickup.
I got a text back.
Oh, what did your wife say?
4.5.
Okay. 4 or 5, so it's in
4.5.
between.
So she agrees with me.
So what? You gave it a 5. Your wife gave it a 4.5. My wife gave it a 4. I gave it a 3.75. All over the place, which
Yeah,
means
so-
the average is like a 4.125.
No, it would be somewhere closer to 4.5.
Oh no, you're right. It'd be closer to like a 4.25.
Maybe like a 4.4 or something like that.
Something like that. So whatever. I'll go with it. I'll vibe with it. Anyways, yes. So that is kind of what we had in store here tonight. On obviously, we have a little bit of disagreement about that Pittsburgh kit. Hopefully, y'all don't crucify me too much for my dislike of it.
Comment on the blue sky.
Yeah, let me know how much y'all hate my opinions.
Shout out to OC who said that I'm better than you.
That's fine. Hey, if we always agreed it wouldn't be a fun show, and one of us has got to be the truth teller here tonight. So, we'll see which one is right. So, before we start to wrap things up, as always, I did want to do our favorite segment of the show, and that is Kit Show Off Time. Fox, what do you got?
Well, honestly, I was going with the green theme. I literally went through my classes trying to find, and this doesn't look as green. Looking at that, almost looks like a teal, doesn't it?
It does.
But it is it's like a bluish green, but it is green. But it's a Real Madrid. Yeah, this is a few years old. It was a Ross pickup. I'm not like a huge Real Madrid fan, but I like the cuffs.
Nice.
If you really look at the details, it's kind of like snake skinny. But yeah, I really like this jersey a lot.
I swear I think I've seen Ronaldo wear that, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably.
It might have been a different variation of that same color, but
yeah,
it seems something he would have worn.
It's like a green teal. It's the best way I can describe it, which I don't think is a thing.
I think that's just teal.
A green teal.
Whatever. We'll go with it. We'll call it a green teal Real Madrid kit. So, who just signed Trent Alexander-Arnold, by the way, officially got unveiled here earlier today or yesterday.
Yeah, I saw. So they're, but we've seen it's not one. TAA has not been himself recently, anyways, and they just keep proving that it doesn't matter how many all-stars that they have on their team, they can't win the Champions League like that.
I mean, they did just 2 years ago. So,
yeah, but that was before Mbappe came over there, and then
till Jude Bellingham beat my Dortmund just 2 years ago.
That was Jude Bellingham. He should have done more.
Anyways, because I'm the one who's sour about that whole thing, so I vividly remember that moment. So, yeah. So what I'm rocking here is I am rocking the 2025. I'm going to call it Detroit Pistons inspired goalkeeper kit from Detroit City FC. I actually was up in Detroit, the city of Detroit, a few weekends ago for a UFL game for my brother's Michigan Panthers. I had to stop by the shop, so shout out to the person I talked with up there at the shop. It was a really fun conversation, and she eventually convinced me to get this one over the Detroit Lions one. So I do like that. This colorway is really unique, very Detroit Piston-y, retro Detroit Piston-y, with that yellow, the black, and then that maroon with this teal. Very unique color palette, and honestly, I love that. So, yeah.
It's the old school Pistons was like one of the best brandings.
Yeah. Really was. Hoping that they can do a little bit more with the colorway. Maybe actually make it into like a home or an away kit for La Rouge. But that's just me because I do like this overall colorway. But it is an Adidas thing, so it is what it is.
I feel like, I mean, Adidas has had the NBA before, haven't they? No, I don't know.
Don't know. But
But anyways, yeah, I really like that kit.
Yeah. It was a good pickup. I'm happy she suggested it to me. So, but as we wrap things up here tonight, please, if you like what you hear and want to tell me how wrong I am or how right Fox is, especially with that Pittsburgh kit, please let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, follow us on all the socials, some Blue Sky, Instagram. Also follow me if you want to tell me how much I'm wrong. Join our Discord if you want to be up to date on the newest and latest kit releases, and you can talk with us. And as always, follow us on Spotify if you want to stay in touch. We have some fun interviews coming up. We have one dropping this Saturday with co-founder and owner Jamie from AFC Ann Arbor, in what was a very fun conversation.
Such a nice guy.
Should be. Yeah, I definitely recommend listening to it. And on that matter, we will not be having a show next week. A little too much stuff going on here on our side here, and we're going to take a little bit of a week off here. And I'm also going to be in Ann Arbor that the 22nd anyway, so a little bit too much going on here. So just wanted to give y'all a little heads up, so it'll be a little bit of a week gap. So,
which, people are probably getting tired of us anyways.
I mean, I'm getting tired of having to talk to you all the time, but I can't say that too much because I'm seeing you this weekend. So I'll be doing more talking. Done. Anyways.
Yeah.
Anyways, so as always, want to give a shout out to our lovely patrons down below. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without your love and support. And as I keep saying, I believe you have until tomorrow, Friday, June 13th, to check out the Sound of Force kit to help benefit the USL Show get up to Portland, Maine to do a live show. So,
I think they should do just an all Portland weekend. Go to both Portlands.
That would be very expensive, given that they are on opposite coasts.
So buy a lot of jerseys, guys.
Buy a lot of jerseys, is what I'm hearing. So perfect. So before we end here today's episode, I did want to say just very briefly, I know there's a lot of things going on outside of the world, but as always, I want to say show love, show compassion, and be a good neighbor to all of those within your community. We are stronger together than we are divisive. So with that, fun little message for y'all.
Facts.
Be respectful, be kind, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Thank you.